The following portion of the Arizona Daily Mix is sponsored by Terpstra Insurance.
It can be a hard talk to have with family members or even yourself, and that is getting life insurance. Well, here to help us know what kind of life insurance we should be getting is Chad Terpstra. And I'll tell you, Chad, we were talking here about, of course, getting insurance done and how it is actually a hard talk to have.
It is.
Why is that?
Because most people don't want to deal with that question. You know, we all know that Father Time is undefeated and that there's going to come a day when all of us are going to pass away. But the humanity of people makes us want to think that we're always going to be here, we're always going to be healthy, everything's always going to be fine. So people try to avoid it as much as possible. And the second part of that is the affordability part of it, because everybody has their bills, they have their mortgage, they have their rent, they have their car payments, all of that stuff, and they never seem to want to find the place for life insurance. And it can be very inexpensive if you do it when you're young, but it's still something that people don't want to address.
Chad, one thing that people to realize is that this is an investment, not just in yourself, but in your family.
Absolutely.
And it's, you know, a way to generate wealth in a way. So you were telling me a little bit, you have a story of your own about how the insurance has helped you in a way.
Well, a personal story because I've been in this industry for 20 years, so I obviously know how to use it to my advantage. But a personal story is that I actually have a policy on my parents. And like any son or daughter, none of us want our parents to die anytime soon, but we obviously know that that's going to happen eventually. And the way I set it up is that if that were to happen today, God forbid, but if it were to happen today, that policy would pay out $475,000 to me on a tax-free basis.
Wow.
So it's something that can very much be used to create generational wealth and leave your children better off than they might have been.
Yeah, and there's different types of insurance that people realize. So, like, you know, if someone passes away, there's, you know, insurance to take care of, like the funeral costs, because everyone forgets about that. And like, oh my goodness, like we can't take care of this, but those type of insurance too that people don't realize.
There's two different categories. You have term, you have permanent. Term has a few different angles that you can go. Most of it depends on the number of years. So you can have 10-year, 20-year, 25-year, 30-year, whatever it is that you buy. And then there's permanent. And within permanent, you have whole life, universal life, variable universal life, and indexed universal life. And within that, where you're talking about final expense, typically that's whole life. So it falls into one of those categories.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different categories. That's why it's great to come sit with you and try not to figure some of this out yourself, because again, people don't know how much they should get, how much not to get, who they should leave it to, and that's a big thing. And I was talking before where I have mine set up where each child gets something, so there's no fighting over you know, the insurance or anything like that. And that's something that people need to think about too, right?
Absolutely. So when you're talking about beneficiaries, it's always good to think about it in your current life, where you're at in life currently, but you also can understand or need to understand that you can change it. Because life does change.
Yeah.
You know, people have more children, they get divorced, something happens where you might name one person your primary beneficiary and other people your contingents when you buy the policy at age 35, but by the time you hit 50 or 55, your situation might have changed.
Right.
So it's not an absolute when you set up the beneficiary.
That's very important. Let me ask you this. I know we're wrapping up a little, but do you put your life insurance in your will, or is that two separate things going on?
I don't necessarily think you need to put your life insurance in your will. It's something that people do because it states the will states their final wishes. But at the same time, when you pass away, the life insurance is going to pay to whoever you designate as the beneficiaries. You know, if your will says something different, it's still going to pay according to your designated beneficiaries.
I like it. Chad, this is such important information for you to have. And of course, again, as we get older, or even as you start a family, you need to look into life insurance. And we have information on the screen, but also you can head over to the CW7AZ.com's website to find out more. So, Chad, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right, stick around. We got more of The Mix coming up right after this.
The preceding portion of the Arizona Daily Mix is sponsored by Terpstra Insurance.